Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk you through how to easily file an IRS extension on your own. It's super simple. Should be very done, can be done very easily. So, I just want to walk you through step by step exactly how to do it. Most people have in their mind that it is some big complicated process. It's not, I promise. You can probably do this in about 5 minutes. There's essentially two options for you. So one is to print out a physical form and then send that to the IRS, which is, easy enough. And then the second option is to just do it online. You do have to answer a few more questions, but they're not too complicated. You should be able to do it no problem. But those are your two options, and that extension will give you until October 15th to file your taxes. But with that said, there's a major caveat, and that is it doesn't give you an extension to pay the tax. So if you still have tax you owe for the tax year that you're filing for, you still need to pay by April 15th, in that tax year. And so you definitely don't want to file the extension and not pay. Pay whatever you think you might owe. It's better to probably overpay than underpay. Otherwise, you might have penalties and interest. If you overpay when you do file, you'll get a refund on that, whatever you overpaid. So better to do that. But this at least buys you some time to fill out and file the rest of your return. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get into it. So I just Googled IRS file an extension. Obviously, you might see some ads like TurboTax or H&R Block, whatever, but you can just go straight to the IRS website. So if you go to get an extension on your tax return, it's very it's very like a lot of words and it's kind of overwhelming, but I'll just show you exactly what to click. So you go down here and hit IRS free file. Then you're going to scroll down past all this nonsense and go to use fillable forms. And then you hit start free file fillable forms. Takes you to this page. Hit start free file fillable forms. If you have never made an account with free file fillable forms, then you'll need to make an account. This is different than your IRS account. So just a heads up, you'll need to put in your email, you make an ID, phone number, things like that. So different than your IRS account. This is free file fillable forms account. I already have one, so you can hit sign in or sign in right here. So now that we're in, you have two pages. So this is very easy. So the first page is just filling out your details. So first name, middle initial, last name, if you have a spouse, their name, the address, apartment number, yada yada yada. Super easy. You will need to put in your social and your spouse's social. And then you will need to put in your estimated total tax liability for the tax year that you're filing for. So here in 2025, this would be for the 2024 tax year. Then you need to put in the total payments and then the balance that you might owe and then the amount that you were paying. Now, you absolutely can just put zero here for all of these. This just means you are still filing the extension, but you aren't really focusing on the payment. If you can make the payment, so even if you put zero here, you will still have every right to send the IRS money and you'll be covered. But if you wish to not pay them anything, and you can do that. But if you're just literally looking to get the extension filed, you can just put zeros here and then worry about the payment later. Or I do know people who decide to not make the payment and then they just incur the penalties and interest for whatever they underpaid. That's a strategy, I guess, as well, but you will incur penalties and interest. But again, if you're just literally trying to do this as quickly as possible, you can put in zeros here. That's no problem. And then, answer these questions. Then you can go to the next form, next page. And so it's going to ask you a few more questions. So, actually, first thing before we go back, so if you were doing this on your own, you could just find this form 4868 and print this out and then fill this in on paper and send this to the IRS. That's all you would need to do. You might want to do certified mail so that you get notified once they receive it. But otherwise, that would be it. You wouldn't need to do anything else. If you are doing the e-file, version, so you don't want to worry about sending anything to the IRS via mail, then you're going to have this second section that you have to fill out. It's not too bad. So this is just a quick like one pager here. So it's going to ask for last year's AGI. It is very simple to get. I'm not going to show you how to get it, but basically you just have to click this link, get transcript link. You'll sign in to the account. If you don't have one, you'll create an account, but you'll sign in and then you can click 2023 transcript or whatever what the previous year was, and then it will show you the AGI, that you had reported for last year's taxes. But yeah, so if you don't know the AGI, just click get transcript link, and it will take you to the page. You'll sign in. You'll be able to get that transcript, which has your AGI. So you will put that in. Honestly, it's just like follow these instructions. So you'll put in the taxpayer's AGI. If you are filing jointly, you can put in the spouses as well, or just collectively. And then it's A or B. So either put in the your AGI or last year's 5-digit PIN if you had one. If you didn't have a 5-digit PIN, then just do the AGI. And then second section is to put in a new PIN. So whatever PIN you want to choose for this year, go ahead and put that in. Put in the your date of birth and then today's date. If you have a spouse, you will need to add both. And then the last section is deciding how you're going to pay. So if you don't want to pay, like like I said, you can just send them this without making any payment. That's fine, and you can worry about the payment later. You can just click this. So select if you e-file form 4868 and mail a check or money order to the IRS for payment. So this is just like, I'm filing this, I'm filing my extension, I'll send the money later. That's what you would click here. If you do want to make a payment right now and you want to do it electronically, you can put in the routing number of your bank, yada, 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 the amount you want to withdraw, things like that. And that's it. So then you would just hit continue to e-file and then, finish up the form there, review it, and then you should be good to go. All right, so here we are on the next page. So basically you're going to have another security question, and then you have this disclosure. So just basically click this and then hit transmit my extension, and that is it. And then you will have filed an extension. By doing so, again, I want to remind you and reiterate, this is an extension to file your taxes. This is not an extension to pay what you owe. So that will always be due no later than April 15th. So it's important that you still make that payment. If you don't, and you still owe taxes, you will be hit with penalties and interest, as well as the original tax that you owe when you do file your return. So it's important that you still pay. Again, probably better to overpay than underpay. If you overpay, you will get some money back. If you underpay, you will still have penalties and interest. So this extension buys you time to file, buys you time to do some of that detailed calculations around the crypto work that we're doing. However, this is you still need to make an estimated payment, so it's important that you do so. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching.